How is everybody doing? So great to check in. I know I haven't checked in on my main feed for a while for a number of reasons, but I wanted to really make the effort to complete this series of videos revolving around the 7 harsh truths of permanent weight loss, because many people have asked. They want to know what number 5 to 7 are, and so I'm gonna shoot these lives for the next 3 weeks, once a week, where I'll tell you harsh truths number 5, 6 and 7, so that we can bring this series to completion. And it's good timing, because we're about to head into the holiday period, the festive period, which, as amazing as it is always a very challenging time for most people for health and wellness, and staying true to your routines and your goals, and preventing this period, this joyous and celebration period, to turn into a massive health and wellness disaster, which will only end you up in a really negative space in the new year. And there's no reason for that to happen. There's plenty of things that can be done to prevent that from happening. So don't settle, don't just accept it for a downward spiral period. Couple of things I have been really involved with, and I just want to keep you up to date to kind of explain the delay in completing this series, has been my plant-based ketogenic experiment, which I am currently chronicling in a private Facebook group, and it's truly blown my mind. It's been one of those things that you go into think it'll just be like a small little experiment, or at least I went into it thinking that, and it's actually turned out to be a profoundly transformational and educational and enlightening self-experiment. So if you want to know more about that, I'm not gonna put too much into my main feed about that, just because I know that it's not for everybody. But if you are interested in learning more about this plant-based keto experiment, just DM me and I'll add you to the group. And I post weekly, several times a week in the group, with updates and interesting facts and even some food ideas, etc., etc. So that's still going. It was going to be 2 weeks, now it's almost 7 weeks. The second big thing that I wanted to mention briefly before I delve into harsh truth number 5 is some amazing upcoming news. I am soon to be publishing my first book. Yay! So exciting! So I have been so busy getting that done and finalizing that, but it's so truly really exciting to see it all come together. And it'll be out in a few weeks. I don't want to unveil the exact date yet. We're just putting the final touches on it, and there's a lot of work that goes into publishing a book. If anybody has ever done it, they'll know. But I am super excited to announce that it will definitely be out before the year is over. And it's all revolving around our proven methodology, Make the Shift, a proven methodology for busy and time-pressed business owners, professionals, to transform their health and well-being. So stay tuned for more. If you want to be one of the first to know about the book when it comes out and get some special deals and special treats around it, make sure you go on our website, wholeshiftwellness.com, and fill in our scorecard questionnaire, because anybody who takes the time to fill in the scorecard questionnaire, it only takes 5 minutes, and you get a comprehensive PDF report with your score and some tips. And if you do so, you also enter this list of people that will be able to access the book and some special deals around the book before anybody else. So this is some of the stuff that I've been working on as of late, and without further ado now, let's delve into harsh truth number 5 of the 7 harsh truths of permanent weight loss. And this is a massive one that comes up so often in our work with our shifters. Literally just on Saturday I did a coaching session around this harsh truth. So harsh truth number 5 is that you are in charge and nobody else. Nobody can make you do something. Nobody can make you eat anything. Nobody can motivate you if you're not motivated. And nobody can break your motivation if you are really, really motivated and clear and focused, and if you've done all the work that needs doing on the focus pillar. And this, obviously, it's quite harsh because especially around nutrition and food, and I want to emphasize again, going into the holidays, this is really relevant because a lot of people come to me telling me that the reason why they can't stick to a certain regimen or they can't stick to their prescriptions that they know make them feel best is because of a family member or because of friends that pull them in a different direction, because of gatherings, because of events. And I want you to know that I appreciate that all those factors can make your journey harder and are difficult to navigate if you don't have a strategy and if you're not doing the right groundwork on the focus pillar, and if you are not doing your homework, then yes, for sure, all that stuff will get in your way and you will perceive it as it being the problem. You will perceive the special occasion, you will perceive that friend, that family member as being the obstacles to your greatest level of health, fitness, and mind-body confidence. Where actually the fundamental issue is your lack of strategy. So really, you own your journey and nobody else. And I'm not saying this to make you feel bad. I want to clarify this. This is not a statement made to make you feel guilty and disempowered. It is quite the opposite. The purpose of me saying this and emphasizing it and repeating it and putting it into this harsh light is to give the power back to you. Put your power back in your hands so that you can own it 110% and you can really shift your perspective and realize that nobody else is in charge and nobody can truly really get in your way if you don't want them to. So, sounds easy? It's not. It's simple, but simple doesn't mean easy. Some of the most simple things in life are also some of the hardest to master. And like I said, it takes work. It takes work on the focus pillar especially. It takes strategy. Here's one quick exercise that I often do with our shifters to help you really shift your perspective when it comes to this kind of stuff, especially around nutrition. And something that you can it's a little tool that you can put in your tool bag, which you can use whenever it's needed and most appropriate. If anybody is offering you anything that you know you shouldn't be eating or that you had committed to not eating, and something that is outside your plan and that you're not actively choosing to eat, by the way, because there's nothing wrong with eating treats or with eating things that are outside kind of your day-to-day routine, but it needs to be your choice, not somebody else's pushing it onto you. And so when our shifters come to me and tell me, oh, it's because that colleague offered me a cake and I could tell that she really wanted me to eat the cake because she wanted me to celebrate with her, and I didn't want to offend her or I didn't want to hurt her feelings, and so I ended up eating the cake even though I didn't even really want to eat the cake, and then made me feel bad. I felt sick and I felt demotivated and I felt like I let myself down. And I am present with all of that. I know that that's exactly how it can feel. Here's what I want you to know. What would you do if anybody offered you anything at all that and they meant well, whether they wanted you to celebrate with them or they wanted you to try something that they've made, but you knew that you are actually allergic to that food item and would end up sick in hospital if you ate it? Just think about it for a second. What would you do? Would you eat it anyways in order not to hurt their feelings, just so that you could please them, knowing that the repercussions would be you being sick and ending up in hospital? Would you feel guilty for saying no, like some of our shifters tell us, oh, I didn't want to feel guilty for saying no? So, I mean, my guess is that you wouldn't eat it and that you wouldn't feel guilty for saying no, because you would be so very present with how it would impact eating it and the fact that you would put your health and well-being at risk. And so there would be no question in your mind. There would be no tug of war, there would be no back and forth, there would be no guilt, there would be no regret. You'd be like, no, this is not good for me, I'm not gonna eat it. And it would be really that simple, and you would be very polite in how you handle it with your colleague or your friend. You would explain, you would say to them, I'm sorry, I can't, it makes me feel sick, I would end up in hospital, I don't want to do that. And they would appreciate it, and even if they didn't, you wouldn't care. The moment you've done the right work on yourself and the right work on the focus pillar, continuously, by the way, because this is not just a one-off thing. The focus pillar is the thing that requires the most work, the most effort on a daily basis. You will feel the same way towards any kind of temptation that comes your way, which is unplanned and outside what you have decided to do and eat and how you've decided to handle it. And it would be empowering, and it would be liberating, and it would be not just simple, but also easy. So take this on board, see how it applies to your journey. Maybe think about a couple of instances when you've said yes to something that you really didn't want, or that you knew you wasn't serving you, just to please somebody else, or thinking that it was the right thing to do or the easier thing to do, etc., etc. Really think about how this harsh truth has been manifesting itself in your life. And next time anything like this comes up, you have this new little tool in your bag where you can think, hold on a minute, if this sent me to hospital, would I eat it? Or would I politely decline without even feeling guilty or thinking about it twice? And by the way, this is to be used in moderation. If the person who is offering said food that you don't want to eat and you know that doesn't serve you, if they're really pushy, and if you're not that close to them whereby you want to really explain what you're doing, you don't have to explain what you're up to everybody in your life. That's too much work. Save that energy for the stuff that matters. There is nothing wrong for using a white lie, such as, oh no, my doctor has asked me to avoid these kind of food items for a while. Bam. The moment you mention the doctor, or you say, oh no, you know what, this hasn't been working for me for health reasons, I have to avoid it for a period of time. The moment you say doctor and health reasons, people will back off. They'll stop pushing, they'll stop prodding, they'll really they'll be like, oh, okay, well, if the doctor said so, or if it's for health concerns and health reasons. Obviously I wouldn't use this technique for a really good friend or family member whom I feel I can open up and explain to them, actually, this is what I'm really up to. But not everybody in life requires that level of explanation and opening up. So, two tools. One is, think about it. What would you do if you were allergic? Two, is it worth going down the route of explaining, or can you just use a white lie such as the doctor said so, or for health reason I'm trying to avoid it, just to avoid all that back and forth. I hope this comes in handy. Like I said, this is a very, very relevant, pertinent and good one to keep in your toolbox for the holidays coming up. I will be doing Harsh Truth number 6 and 7 in the coming weeks, but also one of the things that I'll be doing in the Facebook group that I mentioned at the beginning of the video is I will be delving deep into the 10 top tips to best handle the holiday period in order not to completely ruin your health and well-being and get to January feeling like you know what I'm thinking, feeling bad. You don't have to. You can have fun, enjoy the holidays, and not destroy all the work that you've done up until the point. You can even just maintain. You don't necessarily have to take things to the next level, but you most definitely don't have to go backwards just because it's Christmas and New Year's. I hope this was helpful. Let me know. I always appreciate, any interactions, comments, notes, likes, dislikes, any thoughts, any concerns at all. If you want to join the group, just write it in the comments or DM me and I'll put you in there. And if you're excited about the book and you want to be one of the first to know, don't forget to fill up the scorecard. Yeah, I wish everybody a truly smashing week ahead, and take care of yourself. Ciao for now.